Sadiq Khan, Sir Sadiq Khan, as we should now call him, Jess, complaints around the amount of money he's been raking in from low emission zones.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the whole thing is just an attack on average working people who want to get about their day and don't want to bother with the smelly tube or the inefficient public transport, which has also had recently an increase in price, increase in fares. And so, honestly, it's just removing any choice from the average person.
I think there definitely has been a war on drivers. I think it would be hard to argue otherwise. And an interesting thing specifically around women trying to get around the city and not feeling safe at night. And if they, you know, are nurses, for example, and they finish a late shift, being forced to sort of get the tube or the buses where they don't feel safe. It's something that, you know, I think Sadiq Khan is, you know, lauded for and applauded for this. It's like, but the reality is for everyday people, when there is this war on driving, my driving instructor used to say London's booby-trapped. And as someone that failed their driving test a number of times, actually, that was a 2024 goal I didn't hit, which was passing my driving test, because it was just too tricky. You were waiting 9 months between tests, so you just couldn't keep it up.
So by the time you've done one part, you get to the other part, and then it's like, oh, are you going to have another go this year?
I think I'm going to have to I've got kids, and we're going to need to drive, so I'm going to have to try again, but it's just my theory has run out now. It's just, it gets so complicated.
Well, good luck with that. But, yeah, it's a very important point to raise about the nurses and people that have to use cars and can't afford to pay all these charges.
Even, you know, elderly people that maybe want to go to church that are now put off from it or things like that. It's you know, there's always this war on drivers, but you never think of, you know, there are women drivers, there are elderly drivers, people that need these things to get around.
As a young woman especially, like, I have to get a taxi if it's late at night because I live in quite a rough area of London, which is like most of London nowadays. And it costs an awful lot just to ensure my safety, because I don't feel safe going out at public in the middle of, after, I would say, 8 p.m, I would say, it becomes unsafe. Even then, every time I go out, again, thanks to Sadiq Khan and his inability to tackle crime, I feel unsafe. I constantly get catcalled and sexually harassed, and the only way to avoid that is paying ridiculous amounts on taxis.
Especially in the winter months as well, when it's dark and much earlier as well. It just changes everything.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? The young women don't feel safe in the capital city, run by a knight. OK.